So,
American posture.
American posture. Okay. Are we rolling?
Yeah.
So this is what most seated posture looks like in America after 12 years of school or more, and multiple devices and gaming things and etc. We are like this now. We have this big slouch in our back from our tail to our crown. If I look up, all of my looking up is happening here at the base of my skull, and my shoulders are significantly rolled forward. My head is out in front of my torso. But nobody wants to be seen sitting around looking like this, so we want to sit up straight. So the way we think to do that is we do this. So what did I do just now? I threw my whole lower back forward into hyperextension. I rolled from the back of my sit bones to the front of my sit bones and made this big curve in my low back. And when I did that, I changed the angle of everything from my bottom of my rib cage up. I changed the angle of it, so now I'm tilted back. In the upper back, tilted forward in the lower back. But nothing really changed from the bottom of my rib cage up to the top of my head. I basically kept the same posture. All the motion happened right here. Now I'll show that one more time. And then I really want to try to sit up straight, so I'm going to pull my shoulders back. And then I eventually get exhausted, and I go back to doing this. So we're going to look at how we can change that. I want to look at one other piece of this in a little bit more detail. And Shaman is going to come and help us take a look at this. So we're going to want you to see what happens with your ability to move your shoulder when there is a big curve in your low back. So am I starting with a curve back?
Yep, start with a curve back.
So here I am with curve back.
And notice, you might not be able to see this at your angle, but what's happening with her shoulder blades is they're actually tilted this way on her back. And so,
Do you want a picture of shoulder blades?
sure.
Hold that one up first. Did I just say F on the thing?
I'll find it.
Right in here.
It's coming.
There we go. Actually, it's a little bit further. This will be in the bony structures. There we go.
Okay.
Come on up, Nate. Your shoulder is a fin with a little cup soldered onto the end of it. So it's a fin like this, and it's got a little socket, right? It's like that, right? So it sits like that on the back. In order for the socket to be able to change directions, the fin has to be able to move too. Okay? So, you want to show this on my back?
So if
Slouch first.
she's slouching, this fin, the top of the fin is pointed downward, the bottom of the fin's sticking up towards you, and so now she's going to try and raise her arm,
That's as far as I can.
and that's as far as she can go because the top of the fin is pointing to the floor, and so you end up with some kind of a block that happens here. And if she tries to,
I feel restriction on the front of my shoulder. I feel my tendons being strained. So then what?
so then if she tries, and so then if she brings her spine nice and long and stacks all those bones, notice how the shoulder blades now start to angle themselves more vertically, right? And so when that scapula is angled vertically and she goes to move her arm, you can see how there's this spinning motion that now is allowed to happen. So the top border of her shoulder blade is going to come down and fall towards her spine, and then the bottom part of that is going to spin out, kind of like a little wheel that's spinning, right?
Same.
And same if she goes forward, this top portion is going to drop down and towards the spine. The bottom angle of that of that fin kind of kicks forward and out.
And the problem is, if I have this big kyphosis here, there's nowhere for the top of my scapula to spin to. So that's what we've got to change. Okay? Do you want to do this part? So you can stop it again.
Okay.